one person who cannot sew to another. It's fine, we're gonna get through this video. Unless you can sew and you're just gonna judge, that's absolutely fine. But this is like my way on how I mend my clothes from someone who doesn't know how to sew. I've got very, very basic sewing skills, and when I say that, I mean I've got the same way of doing things as I did when I was 10 and I used to steal my mum's sewing kit. So today we are going to be fixing up some of my trousers. I got a comment on my tying up loose ends video that kind of said like, I wish you showed more of a close-up on what you're doing. So that's what this video is. It's showing you how I botch job fixing my clothes when I have no knowledge on how to really do so. I've got my nifty little sewing kit that I got when I was like very young, I don't know. I used to stuff little cushions and puppets and things. It was all very fun, but I probably had a better skill set back then than I do now. Not gonna lie, I am fixing up the same cargo trousers as I did in that video because I've broken again. So clearly I'm not that great, but I am also excusing it with the fact that it's where my bike chain cog thing just rips up my trousers if I don't tuck them properly. So believe what you like. I'm gonna just set up a camera here so you can see a close-up of what I'm doing. Also, I should have probably cleared this up for you. This is what my boyfriend and I call the creation station. We take it in turns to sit here and be creative. It's quite nice, but I should have probably cleaned it up for you guys before I brought you into my cribs. I might quickly do that now actually. Ta-da! That's better, right? A little bit of behind the scenes. You're gonna be able to see, I think, the camera here. Let's break the fourth wall, you know? Let's be real. Let's de-influence what's going on the internet, okay? I need to find the trousers actually. Oh no, that's a skirt. Perfect. There we go. I think I did it. So yeah, we just need to sew that up really, which I don't think will be too hard. And all I need is a needle and black thread. Oh, and I always use a lighter. I'm just going to be using a very generic black thread and then a needle. There you go. That one will do. Just gonna get the thread out of it. Boom. Right, let's find something I can chop it with. Right, so I'm just gonna chop the thread randomly. Probably the biggest task of today is gonna be not losing the needle and looping it through the needle. I almost licked the needle then. You're meant to lick the thread, it makes it easier. Right, there you go, that's looped in. Then you sort of tie knots at the end. Just gonna get it 2 threads overlapped and then tie a loop, like tie a knot with that, just to thicken it up a bit. And then do that again. Also, I got a decaf coffee earlier and I'm certain it was caffeinated because I feel so anxious and I'm on a bit of a buzz really. There we go. I have looped a knot. I don't know how well you guys can see that. I'm gonna bring you guys in, I think. These trousers, I really don't care how they look. So like I'm really not that bothered. But you want to start underneath, basically, so the bottom of the thread isn't like loose out the front of it. Though, as you can see, I've got loads of hairs here. Like it doesn't really matter, but it's just how I'm doing it. Then I'm going to push the needle through the top, and then I'm just going to straight away bring it back through again. Have you ever seen the sewing scene in Coraline? It's a lot like that. Just underneath. So do you see that? I'm putting the needle in one side, then straight up out the other side. Then it brings the material together. Try not to like scrunch the material. This is just how I sew up my clothes so that I'm not wasting. These trousers have no reason to be chucked. I'm still wearing them to work. The reason why it's important to sew up your clothes is because, hello, the planet is literally screaming for our help. We don't need to demand that an additional pair of trousers is made just because of this little hole. Like when you buy something, you're demanding for that to be restocked. So you are therefore actively putting into the vicious cycle. It uses up so much water to like grow the cotton and stuff. Labour to any degree, like in this day and age, it's trying to be as cheap as it can be. And it's awful really. I saw something the other day, H&M and Zara, they were mowing down so much forest. It's like, I'll put on the screen what forest it is, and it's like killing all the wildlife just so they can grow more cotton really. It's pretty disgusting, like killing other beings for financial gain. When I say like the slave labor thing, like guys, wake up, fast fashion, like it is slave labor. You are actively giving someone a bad life, funding abuse. That can involve the R word, though not obviously strictly restricted to the R word. And it's disgusting. I actually hate there's now like a culture of people who joke about children making their clothes and stuff. I actually think it's vile. People know my opinions. In my real world, people know my opinions. So people tend to not tell me where they buy their clothes from or bring it up. Like, I'm not gonna actively be like, where'd you buy that from? I'm not just gonna like put that on someone. But the thing is, we're living in a world now where everyone sees it on social media. Everyone knows where their clothes are basically coming from, what the process is behind it, but people are still turning a blind eye to it. It's pretty disgusting. And it is something that I've spent so many hours of my life thinking about, getting upset about. Why wouldn't anyone just want to sit, chill out and sew up their clothes? You know what I mean? Like, it's fun, it's a good process. Sorry, I'm not really telling you guys what I'm doing. I'm just kind of reflecting on it all. Why it's so important to sew up your clothes, basically mend your clothes, reduce, reuse, recycle. I'm gonna actually put below some recommendations on things you should watch and read. Maybe I'll do like an informative video in the future with like concrete facts and stuff, because right now honestly like I'm just spewing a bunch of things. But I've watched so many documentaries. Pesticide companies, for example, are like giving pesticide products to workers to use them on the cotton fields and stuff, but it's like a debt kind of policy with interest, so they're never actually able to pay it back, and they end up ending their lives because they are just stuck in this vicious cycle. These same villages, because of the pesticides being used, the community has a much higher population of disabled children because they are breathing in the fumes. Sorry, now what I'm doing is, I've done all the sewing. Now what I'm doing is I'm tying it up. I'm like tying a knot over and over if I can. If not, I end up burning it so that it like thickens up the thread and clumps it. Yeah, these families haven't also got the resources to be able to entirely look after their children. And it's really sad that for some clothing, it's having that detrimental impact on people in third world countries. And where all the textiles, like the toxic chemicals from the dyeing processes, bleaching, whatever else, that's getting pumped into rivers whereby animals drink and their dead bodies float down the river. Children have to bathe in this water, clothes get washed in this water, and families getting really sick and dying. Also, sorry, I'm just tying over and over and over. Also, the rice fields, their food is literally getting poisoned from these chemicals. We are just pushing all of these issues onto communities that realistically have nothing to gain from the process. They're just so poor, and the companies f them up. Like, sorry, I might cut a lot of what I'm talking about out the video because it's really sad, but the bottom line is, I've just cut the loose thread. The bottom line is, people should give more of a about other people just born into other situations, that by actively buying these clothes, you are having a significant negative impact on their lives to the point where they are ending their lives. They are getting abused and R-worded by, you could call them slave owners in the factories. children growing up without parents because they're in these factories, children dying in these factories as well, child slavery going on and they die in the process. Families eating poison, bathing in poison, it burns their skin from all the toxic chemicals. It's disgusting. So that people can wear their Shein tops and skirts and have their Temu items, and it's not even that extreme. Like literally H&M, Zara, like you think they're better, they're not. They're not. If anything, they're pioneering the disgusting way of things just so, born into a different context, can wear something and chuck it into landfill a few months later. Like, it's actually despicable. Trousers are sewn up. I mean, these threads, for example, I can show you. When you light them, they just burn off, basically. They don't set your clothes on fire, so don't worry. So, there's these threads here. See that? Then that solidifies. And it's fine. So, you can always sort of burn threads off your clothes. Here again, I'm going to show you more smaller ones. There you go. There you go. That's all sewn up. Perfect. Trousers saved for a handful more bike rides. I don't want to upset anyone by the things I'm saying about this corrupt fashion world. I have spent a lot of time very upset about it. I remember being 19, I'd just gone to university my first year, and I remember having a breakdown in my accommodation room all by myself because of capitalism and because of how screwed up a lot of things are. I think we've all been there, to be honest. I think if you're watching this sort of content, you've been there. But I just want to talk more about the light at the end of the tunnel and actually your circle of influence. Leaning into things such as buying clothes off eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Vinted, Depop, going to charity shops, going to car boots, you are directly helping the planet every time. My clothes are always secondhand unless they've been bought for me. Not anymore, at least. I've definitely been there. I'm not saying I have been there. There's so many gems out there that are secondhand. We do not need first-hand items anymore. It's all been made, it's already been done, and if not, you can DIY it yourself. This is a topic I hold really dearly in my heart, something that's really important to me. It's a crucial part of my identity. I definitely care about sustainability, low waste, buying secondhand. I've kind of obviously gone off on a tangent, ranting about fast fashion, and I'm so sorry if those vibes are negative, but they're truthful. Do you know what I mean? I'm really curious on how this video is going to end up. Linked below, I will put some things for you to have a little look at if you want to educate yourself a bit more. Thank you for watching me sew up some cargo trousers. I hope it inspires you to look at what you've already got, fix them up, or if not, make a little DIY out of it. Or trade clothes with your friends. That stuff is the best, okay? Anyway, I've been yapping for a while, haven't I? And not even about something very linear and conclusive or even necessarily making sense. There wasn't really much of a flow to it. I want to end on a really positive note. You can make a difference, okay? What's that Gandhi quote? I put it at the end of one of my videos once. I don't know. Gonna put it here. Every little thing does equate and does amount to something bigger. We are all part of a bigger picture. Think about your lifetime. Think about the amount of bottles, the amount of clothing, everything you go through, okay? Did you know that your plastic toothbrush will still be on this earth when you die? It will not decompose before you die. Some beach somewhere, landfill somewhere, your plastic toothbrushes from when you were wee big are still on this planet. Or you can just simply start buying bamboo toothbrushes and but just think about your lifetime and the huge impact that you can have. Anyway, sorry. I'm glad that we hung out. I'm glad we spoke about some serious stuff because I don't always do that on my channel. And maybe, probably I'll come back to this topic because I always do. If you want to see some low waste hauls, clothing where I've got it secondhand, I'll ping some of them below. I appreciate you being here. I hope that maybe you mend some cool clothes. I'm sure you will. If not, it was nice that you just stopped by to say hello. But yeah. Au revoir. Mwah.